Anthony Hamilton, a respected snooker veteran nicknamed the Sheriff of Pottingham, has officially announced his retirement after 34 years as a professional player. Hamilton turned pro in 1991 and maintained an unbroken presence on the World Snooker Tour until 2025, a remarkable run spanning nearly 3.5 decades. Reflecting on his long career, the 53-year-old cueist said, "I've enjoyed all of it, even the stuff at the end that was hard work. He still enjoyed the process of trying to overcome it." Hamilton made his mark early, climbing into the upper tiers of the snooker world within a few years of turning professional. By the late 1990s, he had earned a place among the sport's elite top 16 players and achieved a career-high ranking of world number 10. A naturally gifted break builder, Hamilton was often lauded by peers for his smooth cue action and heavy scoring. He compiled over 300 century breaks in competition during his career and spent 5 seasons entrenched in the top 16. This solid rise laid the groundwork for deep runs in major tournaments, signalling Hamilton as a player with significant potential on the professional circuit. Anthony Hamilton at the Paul Hunter Classic in 2016. Hamilton's first taste of the big stage came with strong performances in ranking events at the end of the 1990s. In 1999, he reached the final of the British Open, his first appearance in a ranking event final, where he pushed Ireland's Fergal O'Brien to the limit, before narrowly losing 7-9. Just a few years later, Hamilton was back in a title match at the 2002 China Open. In that final, he faced off against then world number 1 Mark Williams, and again Hamilton fell just 1 frame short, losing a tight contest 8-9. These near misses earned Hamilton a reputation as one of the best players of his era yet to win a ranking title, even as he consistently challenged the sport's top contenders. Alongside his ranking event runs, Hamilton frequently proved his mettle at the World Snooker Championship in Sheffield. He appeared in the Crucible's main draw 12 times in his career, reaching the quarter-final stage on 4 occasions. His Crucible debut came in 1996, and his longevity at snooker's most prestigious event was underscored by quarter-final appearances spanning from 2000 to 2007. Although he never advanced to the semi-finals, Hamilton's performances on snooker's biggest stage solidified his status as a tough competitor. One of Hamilton's most cherished memories is his encounter with 6-time world champion Steve Davis at the Crucible in 2004. Facing his boyhood idol under the bright lights of snooker's premier venue was a moment Hamilton treasures. That's the best. It was amazing just to be able to say that you played the best at the best venue. It's definitely one of my favourite days, Hamilton said of playing Davis. You're playing your all-time hero at the Crucible, and he's playing like he wants to kill you. He's not bothered that he's your hero, he just wants to rip your head off. So that's brilliant, you know. Hamilton ultimately fell short in that match, but the experience of competing against a legendary figure like Davis on snooker's grandest stage stood out as a highlight of his career. Despite not having multiple titles to his name, Hamilton was widely respected by fellow professionals for his prodigious talent, especially on the practice table. In fact, Hamilton often practiced with Ronnie O'Sullivan, who turned professional just a year after Hamilton in 1992. O'Sullivan, a 7-time world champion, has heaped praise on Hamilton's ability, describing him as a phenomenal player and an ideal practice partner. He was phenomenal, still is, just goes ton, O'Sullivan said, referring to Hamilton's tendency to reel off century breaks for fun in practice. It's good for you to play someone like that because it rubs off on you. He was a great practice partner. O'Sullivan noted that Hamilton's scoring prowess made him a threat to any opponent. He's won the German Ottisms and had a very good career. It's a compliment, but with his game he should have won more really because he's a very heavy scorer, O'Sullivan remarked. expressing some surprise that Hamilton didn't secure more titles over the years. According to O'Sullivan, Hamilton plays the right shots, plays the right game, plays in the right spirit. When he does bring his best form, he's like that every day in practice. The snooker icon believed that if Hamilton could consistently reproduce his practice form in tournament play, he'd have won multiple titles. Some players you look at and think, they're too good not to have won more. He's definitely one of those. Such admiration from O'Sullivan, one of the greatest in the sport, underlines the high regard in which Hamilton was held, even if the trophy counts never quite matched his talent. After years of being tagged a nearly man of snooker, Hamilton finally enjoyed his crowning moment late in his career. His finest hour came at the 2017 German Masters in Berlin, where, at the age of 45, Hamilton ended a 26-year wait for a ranking event title. In the final, he faced Ali Carter, a two-time World Championship finalist. Hamilton rose to the occasion brilliantly, compiling big breaks and exhibiting calm under pressure to defeat Carter 9-6 and clinch the German Masters trophy. It was an emotional triumph for the Nottingham Potter, coming more than a quarter century after he first turned professional. The victory in Berlin marked Hamilton's first and only ranking title, finally adding a championship line to his career resume. That title run in 2017 demonstrated Hamilton's enduring class and resilience. After so many years of near misses, he proved that perseverance could pay off even in the twilight of a sporting career. The Tempodrom Arena in Berlin witnessed Hamilton lifting the silverware as the crowd acknowledged the popular veteran's achievement. For Hamilton, it was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream and a vindication of his persistent quest for silverware. As he later reflected, that night in Germany was the pinnacle of his professional journey, validating decades of dedication to the sport. Hamilton's later years on tour were hampered by significant health issues that tested his resolve. In 2019, he underwent corrective eye surgery to replace the lenses in his eyes, an operation intended to improve his vision. Unfortunately, the procedure went wrong and left his eyesight impaired. He even experienced double vision as a result. The complications were severe enough that Hamilton had to withdraw mid-match from a tournament qualifier after the surgery, and he feared his career might be over at that point. Though his eye infection eventually cleared up, Hamilton was never quite the same player, thereafter having to adapt to lasting vision difficulties. Beyond his eyesight troubles, Hamilton also contended with chronic back problems over the years. Persistent back pain often plagued him during tournaments. He managed to get the back issues under control through treatment and exercise, but the physical toll of decades on tour inevitably affected his consistency in later seasons. By 2020, an entirely new kind of health concern emerged: the global COVID-19 pandemic. Hamilton, who has asthma, found himself at high risk during the pandemic and took strict precautions for his safety. In the summer of 2020, Hamilton qualified for the World Championship, reaching the Crucible stages for the first time in 12 years with a 10-5 win in the final qualifying round. However, this achievement was overshadowed by his alarm at the decision to allow a limited crowd into the Crucible amid the pandemic. Hamilton did not mince words about his feelings. He called the plan to have 300 spectators in an indoor arena for 17 days ridiculous. On a personal front, I'm high risk, I've got asthma. I've been shielding, he explained, detailing how careful he had been during lockdown. After months of isolation, to go into a room with 300 people is against the grain for me. I'm not going to be comfortable in there. 300 people for 17 days I think is an absolute risk, Hamilton said, criticizing the move as disproportionate. Ultimately, out of concern for his health, Hamilton decided to withdraw from the 2020 World Championship, despite having earned his place. This stance drew significant attention as he put personal well-being above the prestige of competing at the Crucible. The combination of vision problems, injury struggles, and pandemic disruptions made the final stretch of Hamilton's career especially challenging. Results on the table began to dip as his health issues mounted. Hamilton later acknowledged that the last few seasons were difficult for him. In his own words, "The last few years have not been that enjoyable in terms of his snooker experience." Even so, he pressed on, determined to finish his career on his own terms. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the snooker legend, has unveiled a new career path. This decision follows a challenging period both on and off the snooker table. O'Sullivan has chosen to venture into the world of social media, specifically by launching a YouTube channel. Initial reports indicate one clip from his new channel was removed shortly after its upload. The seven-time world champion experienced a tumultuous latter half of the recent season. He barely competed in tournaments. This reduction in play began after an incident in January. During the Championship League, O'Sullivan damaged his cue in a fit of rage. This event led to a series of withdrawals from subsequent tournaments. These included the Masters, an event he was slated to defend. O'Sullivan eventually returned to competitive snooker. He did so at the World Championship armed with a new cue. Despite reaching the semi-finals, his performance was marked by frustration. He openly expressed discontent with both his form and his equipment. A notable moment occurred during his semi-final loss to eventual champion Zhao Xintong. O'Sullivan took the drastic step of replacing the tip and ferrule on his cue mid-match. Following his crushing 17-7 semi-final defeat to Zhao Xintong, O'Sullivan discussed his future plans. He revealed intentions to spend more time in the Middle East. He also stated a desire to be more selective about the tournaments he would participate in. Now, he has embarked on a new project. This project involves creating a YouTube channel. This platform will allow him to share insights into his snooker exploits. It will also feature his outside interests, including cooking. O'Sullivan announced his YouTube venture on X. He posted a link to a clip of his 1000th professional century. This milestone occurred in the 2019 Players' Championship final. His post stated, "Finally gone and got a YouTube channel. I will be uploading all sorts here, from some of my favorite shots and matches, to me cooking, to me meeting and chatting to some interesting people. Hope you guys enjoy it." However, a discrepancy was noted upon visiting the channel on Wednesday afternoon. The 1000th century break clip appeared to have been removed. The only available clip showed him hitting a 147 in practice. This practice session took place in Saudi Arabia before the World Championship. Despite the initial clip removal, the announcement resonated positively with his fan base. Many of his 564,000 ex-followers reacted with enthusiasm. One fan responded, "Subbed already. Can't wait for more content. Good luck." Another follower sent their support. "Good luck, Ron. Keep grafting and playing for as long as you can." A third fan offered a light-hearted comment, "Ronnie O'Sullivan cooking must be fast food." These reactions indicate a high level of fan engagement and excitement for O'Sullivan's new content. Beyond his YouTube channel, O'Sullivan also disclosed significant future plans. These plans involve his departure from the UK. He articulated his intentions after his World Championship run. O'Sullivan stated, "I think I'm going to be moving out of the UK this year. A new life somewhere else." The snooker player, known as The Rocket, has a snooker academy in his name located in Saudi Arabia. He elaborated on his future approach to snooker. "I'll still try and play snooker, but I don't know what the future looks like for me, really." O'Sullivan further explained his decision to relocate. I'm moving away soon, so I'll just see how it goes, he said. He emphasized a broader perspective on life. There's a lot of more important things in life to worry about than a game of snooker. He acknowledged snooker's importance in his life, but stressed the need to reevaluate. For me, it's a big part of my life, but I've got to try and figure out what my future looks like, whether it's playing or not. He reiterated his destination. I'll be moving away to the Middle East, but we'll see how it goes. I might be back in 6 months,